What is up, Ludi Bros Army? It's your boy Big Bro Lamar Ludi, and I'm sitting down today with Mario Cardona. He got top 16 in this recent online regional hosted by Core TCG. So I wanted to sit down with him. I wanted to go over his deck profile, but before we get too deep into this, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on. You're going to want to know when content like this is dropping from the Ludi Bros. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mario. We're going to get an in-depth profile, and I want to hear a little bit about his tournament and about his tournament experience in this online regional.
All right, hello. I'm Mario Cardona, and I played set 21 Cell. I know it got a lot of erratas, but to be honest, it frankly needed it, or else this deck would be very overpowered. And I think it has a good place in the meta. If you guys don't know, you start off as a 5k leader, front side. What it does, it rests itself. I choose a green android, show it, bottom deck it, and I just draw two cards, and I awaken when I'm at 5 life, or if I have a 3 cost android, and then when it awakens, I shoot two androids, something 18 to my opponent's side of the field, and I become a 10k leader,
Okay.
which is kind of funny. But when he attacks, I can literally eat a 3 cost and tuck it under from my opponent's side of the field or within my drop. And in order for me to Z awaken, I have to have both Android 17 and 18 under. So it seems like a hassle, but the payoff is great for what
Mm-hmm.
you become. So let's just get into it. That's what the leader does. Also, when you start off the game, you actually give your opponent Gingertown.
Okay.
What Gingertown does is that if your opponent's leader is a green cell, your Earthling tokens cannot attack, and then you can't combo off the tokens, attack with them, and you can't combo 17 and 18 on the field. And then if your opponent plays a mono green cell, you create two Earthling tokens,
Okay.
and they're zero attack, zero combo, and then your leader, your opponent, they're locked out of using extra cards with counters, being me, so I can't use any counter extra cards. And that's what it does. So the Earthling tokens, your opponent really can't use them, but they act as a secondary resource for me in order to cheat out certain cards. So it's good. So it's like that's one of the main things. So we'll go off on the one drop. So versus Omen, it's a cost one on play. You look at top five and you grab a cell cost five or less. And then this trick, since mono green set, it will trigger the gaining two tokens.
Okay.
And then it has a secondary auto. If my leader is a green cell and it's the awaken, when I combo with this, I can pay one green energy and eat a human token on their side of the field, and I can play a 3 cost cell with 10k power from my deck to the field. So later in the game, they become useful because I can just combo, pay an energy, and play something out of my deck, and that becomes very useful.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has that same secondary auto, except he is on play, draw one. These two are a must to see turn one.
And what is that
So,
card? What is that second card you just showed?
Chrysalis form.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a hard play, draw one, mono green cell, it triggers the gain. So that's it. And then they both combo pain energy. Once I'm the awaken, I can play a 10k cell. 3 cost. So here's my first one. This one is Cell Namekian Absorption. So he's 3 costs with deflect, and in order to play him out, I choose get this right. This one actually says choose up to one Earthling token and switch it to rest mode. Play this card from your hand. So this card you actually don't need an Earthling token. It just says choose up to one and
Mm-hmm.
rest it and play it. So you can actually play him even if you haven't generated tokens. Next card is Cell Say in Absorption. Um, this one, in order to play out, you acme, you pay one. Then I have to choose the Earthling token and rest it in order to play it out. So you notice they're all 10k and 3 costs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's perfect. So these two have very similar effects. When I attack, I choose one Earthling token or Earthling cost of one, and I combo it from my opponent's side of the field. When I do that, he gains 5k power. When I combo with him, the Earthling token or one cost, he gains 10k power.
Mm.
So when he's a natural 15k or higher, the Namekian Absorption, once per turn when it would be specifically KO'd, it wouldn't be. And then him, when he's 20k power, I can activate once per turn, KO something cost 5 or less off the field. And the power gain is until the end of my opponent's turn.
Okay.
So they're both very similar. And then my other cell, preparing a plan. Another 3 cost, I can only play him if my leader is a cell and 15k or higher. So what he does is, if my leader is green and a green cell with 15k power, I play this from my hand to the field, and then he chooses Android 17 and 18, cost a 2 from my deck,
Mm-hmm.
and it plays it onto my opponent's side of the field with their skills negated. But not just that, but I'm allowed to successor into a cell card using Android 17 and 18 on my opponent's side of the field. So I'm allowed to successor without having to hurt my own board to do it by
Mm.
giving out Android 17 and 18. We'll go over them much later.
Okay.
Okay, right here. Second form cell, my only negate in the game. 4 cost, counterattack limit 1, negate the attack, play this card. 15k, 5k combo. And then if my leader is the green cell Z leader, you may activate this counter. The skill of this from your hand without paying the energy cost by removing 2 Earthling tokens from the game. So, and then he has an auto. When he's specifically KO'd, I can KO one of my opponent's battle cards, cost 5 or less. So I play 3 Longing for Perfections. So he has 2 permanents. So permanent is if your leader is a green cell and you have a green android in your energy other than this card, I ignore the energy exhaust. And if my leader is a green android and I have a cell in play, I reduce his combo cost by 1, so he's just a free 5k combo, and he's just multicolor yellow green. And then you can evolve off of one of the 3 cost cells for 1, and he's a blocker. Cell Devourer of the Masses. So if you weren't playing in set 9, this is when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So successor, green, yellow, 2 energy. When you play this card with successor, I choose one of my opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier. I KO it, and my opponent picks a card in their hand and discards it. Now, this is the cool part. When this card is removed from your battle area by opponent's skill or KO'd, I draw 3 cards.
You draw 3. We were actually
Yeah.
doing a little bit of play testing here before you went off on the regional, and this guy was like sitting out there. Did that happen during your tournament play?
Every time I brought him out, no people refused to kill him. So so at a certain point, he was just all right. I'm just attacking 25k for free every time, and he was left undisturbed. And then there's one point where I had 2 of them out on one opponent, and he chose to get rid of one, and I'm like, okay, free value.
Draw 3.
Draw 3. Pursuit of Despair cell. New card. Double strike. When it's played, I play 2 cell junior tokens, and they get 5k power for the turn. So cell junior tokens.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out for 2 energy. If my opponent has 3 or more energy, I play this card for my hand, and it has a errata, and it's act main, and it's not once per turn. I can remove a token with combo power from the game, and I can remove 2 markers off of a unison. New card, Ultimate Lifeform of Despair. It's a successor for 9, and it costs 3 energy, 1 green, 1 yellow, and 1 colorless.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's the same as the 4-drop cell, where he becomes a checkland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then when this card is successor skill that was activated by choosing one or more of each Android 17, 18, or a cell for their skill, which I would either use the cards on their board or cells on my board. As long
Mhm.
as I hit one of them, I can choose one of my opponent's battle cards, KO it, and then I can add a cell full power Kamehameha from my deck to my hand.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's a 30k, dual attack, double strike, and if I can get him off for 3 energy, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
MVP of my deck. Cell Unthinkable Perfection, another set 9 card.
Mm.
So this guy is 4 energy. 1 yellow, 1 green, 2 colorless. And it's successor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always going to try to successor for 4. If your leader card is an Android card, when you play this card with successor, your opponent reveals their hand, choose up to 3 battle cards in their hand, place it in their drop, then choose one of your opponent's leader cards, then negate its non-keyword skills for the duration of the turn. Android 17 and 18 encroaching hand of evil, so the 2 cost androids.
Mm-hmm.
So when I awaken, these shoots thieves out to my opponent's side of the field. So even though I'm playing them, these are my opponent's effect. So 18. If your opponent's leader is a green cell, when this card is played, your opponent draws 1 card. So I
Okay, so you
draw
get to
one,
draw. Mm-hmm.
and then if your opponent's leader is a green cell, when this card is played, they discard 1 card.
Mm-hmm. And how many copies of the 17 and 18?
Oh, sorry. I do 3 and 3.
3 and 3? Okay.
And then Bionic Blitz. Combo, they bottom 1 card from the hand, not much to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, that hand control aspect.
Yeah, Earth Destroying Kamehameha. The IAR from set 9.
Mm-hmm.
So, all my energy is green, and my leader's green, I can pump something by 15k, and then I can randomly pick a card in their hand. I
Mm-hmm.
only play this at 2.
Okay.
Now the real MVP, the new one,
The new
Self
one.
Full Power Kamehameha. So it's an activate battle. If your leader is a Cell V leader, I draw 1. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so no matter what, you're always going to get the draw one. Then I choose 1 of 3 effects. The first effect is I choose one of my green cell cards. It gains 15k power for the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Second effect is what 1 me gains. I choose one keyword skill on one of my opponent's battle cards and negate the skill for the turn. So even if it has barrier, it doesn't matter. I'm not choosing the card, I'm choosing the keyword on the card. So it's just when people try to triple strike me, hit me for game,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I just remove that skill and I just take 1 damage. I'm like,
Mm.
and then lastly, if it's my turn, I choose one of my opponent's battle cards and KO it.
Nice.
Lastly, I was debating whether to go Cell Max or Cell Zeno, but Cell Zeno is just very easy to get off of this deck.
Okay.
But it's just, free successor when you're 5 energy, I get to remove 3 cards from their hand, and then it's a dual, double strike, quad strike. This helped me win like 2 games.
Nice.
So even though I can play with it, I never really had to I have to go into this. It was never reliant
Right.
on any one thing. It's just all the moving pieces. So if it's there, sheesh,
Mm-hmm.
go in.
Yeah, go
But
for it.
that's main deck, and then let's go into the V deck. Let's just show you the battle card before I go into the V leader. So that'll be
Okay.
easier. This acts like surmounting, but for green. So sometimes if I need to cycle through or they're not attacking me on play, I can take a life, bottom a card, then draw 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then have barrier and deflect, so they can't really interact with this. So I'm always gonna get the auto, and it helps me cycle through cards, and yeah, it's nice when I need it.
Okay.
1 Jiren, Sometimes if I have to get rid of the unison, but I just use them that, if there's nothing else, play him, use his auto, make him unkillable, and then use
Mm-hmm.
his secondary, his act main, attack for 25k, double strike, and then whatever else. Alright, Greedy Absorption. This guy's really fun. If this card is in a Z deck, I may play it without paying the Z energy cost by switching two of my opponent's earthly tokens to
Mm.
rest mode.
Okay.
So he's just one energy. And then you have the activate main. If your leader is a green cell and you choose a total of two or more of your opponent's earthly cards with a cost of one
Mm-hmm.
or earthly tokens, remo- remove him from the game and he gains plus 10k power.
Oh man.
So he becomes 15, and then he has the auto limit one. Same thing as the other guys. When he attacks, I use one Earthling card with a cost of one or token and
Mm.
combo it, and he gains plus 5k. So he'll be directly attacking for 15k.
Mm.
I mean 20k for one energy
Gets
and
big.
killing three. Yeah, so secondary resources. So waiting patiently. It's one energy and one V energy, and it can only V awaken with the original cost of 10k. So he can
Okay.
only V awaken off of this, and then he V stacks two green cells. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get about to explode and perfect resurrection. So he becomes a generic leader at this point. He's 15 base, attack, draw one, and then when I'm at three or less life,
Mm-hmm.
I can play an 18 card from under it, which would be my two absorption cards. One, two. When I'm at three or less life, and then I take damage by opponent's attack,
Mm-hmm.
I shoot out 18 from under it, and the skills are not negated, so I will actually get an extra draw off of that.
Oh, okay.
And then I go into ready to explode. And then ready to explode, this card cannot attack. If there's a perfect resurrection under it,
Mm-hmm.
and my life becomes zero, instead of losing the game, I choose all my opponent's battle cards in unison, other than earthly tokens,
Mm-hmm.
place them in the drop, I rejuvenate two life, and then I place perfect resurrection from under his Z stack on top. And then yeah. And then
So it
if they
basically feels like you're running a deck with 10 life
yeah,
almost.
basically. And then at the beginning of my turn, let's say if they don't trigger that at the beginning of my turn, I I take all my life to my hand, and then it's permanent triggers, and then I rejuvenate two, and then I go to perfect resurrection,
Mm.
and then perfect resurrection. When this card is placed in your leader area, this card gains 5k. So if they aggro me out, I'm gonna become a 25 base leader.
Right.
And then when this card attacks, I draw one, and then I KO a battle card indiscriminately. It just KO a battle card.
Mm.
So, and then his other effect is what makes them broken. Activate battle. Activate battle skill on one green extra card with Cell and Kamehameha in its name without paying the energy costs.
Okay.
So these were with him. The first one that I use can
Uh-huh.
essentially become free.
That is
So
one question I wanted to ask you, and then we'll wrap this up. But what did you feel was the surprise factor running this particular leader in this deck? Did you feel that you had a very good surprise factor against your opponents?
yeah, I think only two people said that they played the deck and knew what it did, and then everyone else was like, "What the heck?" It's like, how am I generating value? How am I actually contesting them? And it's just there's that. And then I played against every deck and in the format with this, and then my neighbor is Brian Samuel, and it's just
Mhm.
like when you play with people that caliber, how most of my community, even you, like I like to think we just have a very high skill cap locals over here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like you learn a few things, and it's just like now they have to adapt to me, and
Right.
the people that I play with don't know what it does, and if you're playing at a competitive level, this is not to sound like an insult or anything. It's gonna come out how it is, but it's your responsibility to know, especially at a high caliber, what the other person card does or
Right.
will do. No matter how bad or how good the deck is,
Yeah.
it's your responsibility to know what they do, because it's just like, especially the BO1 format, they just have to get you good once, and
Right.
that's it.
Nice.
Real quick, side deck.
Okay.
One of these, never expected to play it. This, I thought about if I wanted to do it in a certain matchup. I figured out I'll need it. If I played against a heavy hand destruction deck, I was gonna do Abominable Power. If you guys don't know, I can combo this from the drop for as if it were 10k for one energy. So the idea is if I somehow played against a villainous deck, I'll decide these in, discard them, and use them as combo for later. Extra one of these just because if a match I needed to want to, but honestly, I see all my successes at two. The deck runs through itself right away.
Mm-hmm.
Cell chain, perfect for cell chain. 1, 2, and 2. If I ever faced against an Android 21 matchup, I freaking hate that matchup. They have nothing that could stop this, and I played against quite a few Android 21s. If I could do the cell chain, I have done it, but if not, remember everything in here is a cell. There is one point where I negated an attack off of a 21 player for free. Play
Mm-hmm.
this out, and that was like the end of the turn. I go to my following turn, and I evolve this for 6 on top of my negate.
Okay.
So perfect force, and then vital teamwork against unison based decks. Like if I played expert deck 21 or any yellow matchup that is unison reliant, attack, get rid of it, because they only play the unison specified 3.
Okay.
That that is it. Yeah. Any further questions?
No, I think that's pretty good, man. I think that's really good. Congratulations to you. I'm glad I got to like I mentioned, I'm glad I got to play test with you heading into the tournament and kind of gave you my thoughts on it before you went and played. And I was glad to sit down just like everybody else and hear about your experience at the online regional. So if you have any shout outs you want to give, you can go ahead and do that now, and then we'll get out of here.
But yes, I would like to shout out my community, the 805 community. Those of you in my Discord, the Nameless Planet, thank you all. I said this before. I don't know if I said in this channel. I lose more than I win, and if I win, it's because you guys put me through the ringer, and I just love these cheese decks. So it's just like the fact that you guys put up with me playing it until I can make it very competitive, or as competitive as I can be. Thank you guys. Yeah, no specific shout outs. I just want to congratulate the community all together. If you guys see it, you guys know who you are. Thank you guys.
All right.
And thank you for having me and letting me share.
Yeah, man, no problem at all. All right, well, thank you guys for tuning into this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth look at Cell. And once again, congratulations to you, Mario, and your top 16 finish at the online regional.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in this video, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching the video.